Hey guys, Prower1701 here, and today we are going to be ranking Season 19 of classic Doctor Who, Peter Davison's first season as the 5th Doctor. And we have, 7 stories to look at, and we're going to start at the bottom with Kinda. Yes, I'm going to get in trouble for this one. I don't like this story. I don't like Kinda. I've never gotten into it. I find it boring and uninteresting. I don't think it's realized well. The scenes when Tegan is in the Mara zone land just look awful. I don't think they're filmed well with the pitch black around her. I don't know. Instead of thinking she's in a different dimension, it just looks cheap and uninteresting. The whole story with the tribes and stuff going on there, I find uninteresting. You can tell they didn't have anything for Nyssa to do because she's unconscious in the TARDIS most of the time. The ending scene, I do like the added CG effects for the ending scene with the mirrors. That does help the ending a bit because the original version of that ending was very naff, even by classic Who standards. But even with the update, I just find the story uninteresting. One of the reasons why I'm not really that looking forward to seeing Snake Dance, I've never seen Snake Dance, but I don't have much interest in watching Snake Dance, is because I keep hearing Kinda's the better one, and I think Kinda is Peter Davidson's most overrated story. I just don't care for it. Number 6 is Black Orchid. Don't really care for this one either. I like the scene at the beginning when he's playing the cricket and stuff. That's pretty cool. I like that. But most of it I don't really care for. I don't like Nyssa having a doppelganger. I tend not to like doppelganger stuff. I say that and then I love Maglos and Enemy of the World. But I don't know. Here I just don't care for it. I don't like the Doctor being mistaken for somebody else because he's wearing the same outfit as somebody else. It just a lot of the story seems a bit tropey to me, very tropey. The makeup on the one guy who's all scarred and deformed, it really is not unnerving, but I don't like it. I feel sorry for what happened to the guy. I don't find the story interesting. And the fact there's that scene when somebody mentions Master, and he's like, the Master? What? And you're the Doctor. Come on, obviously he doesn't mean the Master. Don't get off. It's nice to have another pure historical, it really is, but I just find it uninteresting. Moving up to Time Flight, we start getting into the ones I actually like to watch. I actually like Time Flight. I'd rather watch Time Flight than the other two I just named. The effects in Time Flight are pretty bad, but it's classic Who. I'm willing to look past some of that. I actually enjoy the story for the most part. My biggest gripe with Time Flight is the reveal that I'm not even quite sure what he's stereotyping you, to be honest. But that one very stereotypical, in some way or another, character that's revealed to be the Master, there doesn't seem to be a point for that other than for them to reveal, hey, it's actually the Master in disguise again. Why not just have had him the Master from the start? I mean, none of the people working under him see surprise when he shows up as the Master. They know who they're working for. So it seems like it was contrived just so we could have that cliffhanger of it's really the Master after all, which doesn't really make sense in the plot of the story. Other than that, I actually enjoy the story and find it a fun watch. That being said, I've only watched it once when the box set comes out, which is true of a lot of these stories actually. Pretty much all of them except Volva and Earthshock. I've only seen the one time when the box set comes out. So I may think differently on rewatch, as with all of these. Number 4 is the Visitation. I don't remember this one as much. I remember liking it though. I believe this is the one where the Sonic gets destroyed. And it has that one guy from the past. I don't know his name. The one that's kind of working with him. I really like him. The little guest actor character. I like him. I remember really enjoying him in the story. I don't remember his name, but I remember really enjoying him. I thought the creatures, the kind of lizard creatures, were really well realized. I liked their outfit. Thought it was pretty decently done for classic Who. Don't care for the robot design though. The robot looks very 80s bad, so to speak. Nowhere near as good as say the robots and Robots of Death, which looks so timeless, or even the robot in Robot, which looks campy, but it's a fun campy. This is just a cheap done bad campy that I don't really care for here. But I do enjoy the story, and finding out they're the ones who caused that fire is. I like when Doctor Who ties into history like that. Number 3 on the list is 4 to Doomsday. I like this one a lot, with them on the spaceship. I like the aliens basically turning themselves human so they can kind of adapt and find out what humans are like. I really like Davidson in this story, and all of the other actors in the story I think do really well. I like the interactions between him and the head guy who sits in the chair all the time. I don't remember his name. I like their little talks with each other. And the robots, when they do the thing, when they show their chest and you see all the robots, I think that's done pretty well for Classic Who. I think that's a pretty neat little effect. And I like the concept behind it, that all these people have been preserved, on analog cassette, their memories and everything that they were still preserved for all these years. That's pretty neat. Again, I need to rewatch that one because most of the season I've only seen once. But I remember really enjoying that episode. It was a standout episode for me that season. Number 2 on the list is Earth Shock. This one deserves all the credit it gets. It's really, really good. It's the first time we've seen the Cybermen in 7 or 8 years. They took a really good long hiatus after Revenge of the Cybermen. And I really like them here. I love their new design. I like that design. The 80s Cybermen look really, really good. I love that. The cliffhanger of part 1, when they're actually revealed to be behind what's going on, is a great cliffhanger, especially since, again, we haven't seen them in 7 or 8 years. It's a nice return to form. Their plan is actually really well thought out. It's a really well written story. Their plan to try to destroy Earth, before the events of the 10th planet, so they can stop the events from 10th planet from happening, is really neat. It's a really well thought out plan. And how they infiltrate the ship is really well done. It's really good script. I know some people think there's some people who are miscast in the story, but I think everybody does a fine job in the story. I'm fine with all of the guest actors. I think Adric's death is done really, really well. I think they kind of needed to kill off or at least get rid of one of the characters because I felt like the TARDIS crew was a little too big. Much like it has been in the Whittaker era, there's just too many people running around, not enough to develop them properly. And I think it was a pretty shocking thing to do for Classic Who, because Classic Who didn't really kill off characters like that. So I think it was a really bold move for them to do. And I did like the fact that the Doctor used Adric's star to stop the one Cyberman. That was pretty neat. I actually really, really enjoy Earthshock, and especially the updated effects, the special edition with the updated effects. I think the updated effects really do make the execution of the story live up to the script of the story. And number 1 on my list is Castor Volva. I really love Castor Volva. I've been watching that one for a long, long time. I saw it when I was little. I have the New Beginnings 3-pack with Keeper of Traken, Logopolis, and Castor Volva on it because I love that little trilogy. Tom Baker's final 2 stories and Davidson's first story really do act as a trilogy and all kind of lead into each other. And I find it a lot of fun. I like Anthony Ainley as the Master here. Peter Davison's really neat as the confused First Doctor, seeing him run around in the Fourth Doctor's outfit a bit, seeing him a bit confused and having to figure out who he is. It's a little weird what's going on with Adric, with the fake Adric running around and the other Adric. That's a little odd. I like the idea of Castor Volva and how it's not real, but how the people who live in it doesn't know it's not real. Kind of like how since they're part of the program, they can't see the program, or kind of like when you're in a bad relationship, you can't tell it's a bad relationship, but everybody else on the outside is like, that's a bad relationship. Kind of like that, everybody, the Doctor figures out really quick something's up, and then all the other companions figure out really quick something's up. And it's not until that one scene when the Doctor has them pointing on the chalkboard, how do you see such and such? And he's like, from here, from here, from here. And then they're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. I really like that scene with the chalkboard. I think that does it really well. I like the special edition of it, the enhanced effects on the Season 19 box set. Because again, I think that was really the only thing hurting Castor Volva was the effects. I think the newer effects really, really help it a lot and make the visuals live up to the story again. I really like this one. It's probably my favorite Davidson story, It and Caves. It's objectively, Caves is Davidson's best, but subjectively, I like this one as much as I do Caves. I always enjoy watching it. Again, part of it's the nostalgia of it, and part of it's I just find it a fun story to watch. Also, Anthony Ainley as the Portreeve had me fooled. I want to say that right now. I did not realize that was Anthony Ainley until he reveals himself at the end as the Master. My jaw hit the floor. because just the makeup on him and the acting he does, the way he does his acting, I didn't catch it. I'm sure there are some people who could probably tell. I didn't. I was completely floored when that happened. But I really enjoyed the story, especially I also like when Davidson's kind of acting like his previous incarnations for a bit. He actually does a pretty good job of that. I love his Hartnell and his Troughton especially. They're very, very good. So that is my ranking for Season 19. What do you think of Season 19, and how would you rank the stories from worst to best? I'm sure I'm going to get some criticism of mine for having Kenda in last place and Time Flight above it. And that's fine. I don't mind at all. We are all entitled to our opinion. So comment down below and let me know what you think of my list, and let me know what your list is. I always enjoy interacting with you guys down in the comments. Other things to do: click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications so you never miss whenever I have a new video coming out. I do a new video daily. I have also started a Patreon where I have 3 patrons on it so far. Always looking to grow that. There's a link to my Patreon down below. Right now, for the entire month of May, which we're closing in on the end of May, everyone who joins gets a free video request. That's just in general, not just in May, but everyone who joins my Patreon, even at the $2 level, gets a free video request. Just recently got up a patron request video review for Suntaran Experiment, and I still have to do Horror of Fang Rock for Ham, which I've actually watched part 1 on. I've got to watch the other 3 parts so I can get that done. But I have other things that I'm doing through the month of May, right? People who join at any level, because my entry level is only $2 a month. I have a $2 entry level. If you're interested in that, you get access to stuff that's usually just for higher tiers, like bloopers, outtakes, alternate takes, behind the scenes, polls to vote in, stuff like that. So if it's something that interests you, click on the link down there and have a look at it, see if it's anything you might like. Most importantly though, stay safe out there, and thank you for watching.